You tell them Nick Cage is good at smooching. You tell them Nick Cage is good at smooching.
Are those my golden guns?
They're my golden guns.
So Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent came out on April 26, 2022, and it is directed by Tom Gormachan, and it is written by Tom Gormachan, also along with Kevin Byrne. And this movie stars Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage. Yeah, I'm not gonna wear these the whole review. We'll pop that bad boy on, but I'm keeping the robe on because I think it makes me look really distinguished and really good, and also Nick Cage wore one in this movie, so it really told me that robes are back in, if anything else. So this movie is Nick Cage doing commentary on Nick Cage's career. The two sides of Nicolas Cage's career. We're talking about Wild at Heart, Leaving Las Vegas, Academy Award getting Nick Cage, and then you got The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off Nick Cage, the movie star Nick Cage, and how this Nicolas Cage and that Nicolas Cage, how they make the Nicolas Cage that is behind the scenes. So in this movie, Nicolas Cage gets caught up, he needs money, kind of commenting on the video on demand phase of Nicolas Cage that a lot of people talked about, how he fell into massive debt and he had to start doing video on demand movies. And in this movie he says that what's the problem with working? That's his job, is to be an actor, and he's really good at being an actor. They even show him early in this movie just diving into lines out of Valet. So it's showing that Nicolas Cage is a massive talent, and that just because he's good at something doesn't mean he has to always do the artistic path that people want him to do or go do the action path. He could do whatever he wants, and he's good at it. He doesn't phone it in. That's what he always said. He's even said in interviews recently that he's always gone for it. That Nicolas Cage is not that kind of person that he's portrayed on screen. And in this movie, he's leaning into this character that they've created on the internet about Nicolas Cage. You know, in this movie, he's wearing a robe, he's got the sunglasses, he's got a fedora on. He even sees another Nicolas Cage called Nicky Cage, and it's basically Wild at Heart Nicolas Cage with the hair and the jacket. Not the same jacket, the one that showed off his individuality in the Wild at Heart, but a different kind of leather jacket, so that was really cool. The supporting cast in this movie also is really awesome, and that's what leads me into Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal is living it up in this movie. He's having a great time. He's having a lot of fun. He's really enjoying himself. You can see he's bouncing off of Nicolas Cage's energy, and they're both, it's a bromance is the way I put it coming out. It's basically another buddy cop movie, buddy cop action movie, because this movie does eventually become an action movie. Right down to some big surprises. Look out for plenty of Nick Cage Easter eggs if you're a fan of Nicolas Cage, which if you're a fan of Nicolas Cage, this movie was made for you. Go to the theater this weekend. You won't be disappointed. You're going to have a great time. Like, I had a lot of fun in this movie. That's what this movie is a lot of fun. So Pedro Pascal and him, they're just basically hanging out. There's even a scene in this movie where they're just high on LSD and watching movies and talking about what their favorite movies are, and it's really cool because it reminded me of when me and Matt would talk about movies, where it's like, yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite movie because it all depends on mood and season, because I know me, I'm not going to watch a movie like Jaws in the winter or The Thing in the summer. That doesn't work. The Thing gets watched on a snow day, and Jaws gets watched on a hot sunny day when you want to go swimming in the pool. And I'm glad to see that Nicolas Cage, or at least these writers, think that that's the same way. So, and like I said, Pedro Pascal is great in this movie. One of my favorite performances by him. You know, I liked it. This is comparable to his Wonder Woman in 1984 performance, which a lot of people didn't like, but I like that hamming it up for the character, kind of Pedro Pascal, and he did it for this film as well, so I had a lot of fun watching him in this as well. Also, there's two CIA agents played by Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish in this movie, and they are a lot of fun. Their banter back and forth with each other was great. Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish are two very underrated actors. They are both hysterical when it comes to comedy. They have had many different performances where they've gotten to show off, and they really get to show off in this movie as well. I enjoyed it greatly. They're great. Another performer we don't get to see pop up that much was Neil Patrick Harris. I love seeing him in this movie. He was a lot of fun. He was funny. He's got that Neil Patrick Harris like kind of thing that he's done, you know, in How I Met Your Mother or the Harold and Kumar movies. That's the Neil Patrick Harris we're getting in this movie. So they got comedy Neil Patrick Harris, not like dramatic Neil Patrick Harris like we saw it in Gone Girl. So that was cool. Everybody was really playing it up. They knew the movie they were making, you know, the being John Malkovich of it all, like kind of thing, but more of a comedy action movie. I would compare more to like Tropic Thunder. So that's kind of like what I was getting out of it. I had a great time at the theater. Everybody was playing their performances right. This is not an Academy Award winning movie. This is action-packed Nick Cage movie, but it's commenting on what we've all talked about Nick Cage being, and he's just leaning right into it. And he's in on the joke, and the joke is great. The movie is a lot of fun. So if you're a Nick Cage fan, or you're a fan of action comedies, or any kind of action movies, I would say go out to the theater and check this one out. But if you don't want to go see it in theaters, definitely pick it up on Blu-ray. Hopefully we get a 4K on this. Fingers crossed. So we will see. But if I had to give a rating to this movie, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. Perfectly harmless movie. Check it out if you can. But wait! There's more! And this one's a screamer, because we are also doing a digital code giveaway like we do every week. So it's Friday, and that means I got 2 questions for you before we give you a digital copy of Scream or Scream 5. And these 2 questions are, first, real simple, what is your favorite Scream movie? And number 2, what is your favorite Scream character? Now, if you want to just answer both, that's cool. We want to just chat with you guys in the comments section. But if not, all you gotta do is answer one, and you are entered to win that digital code. And on Monday, we are gonna spin that wheel, and whatever name it lands on, if you're entered, you will win it. So come back to Monday's Always Sunny in Philadelphia review video, and that's where we will pick a winner. So guys, thank you for joining me on another episode of Let's Talk. Make sure you run out and go see this movie, and like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and tell your friends.